Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of The Greek Pharmacist. My name is John Konomu, I'm your host, and today we're talking about a very special strand of genetic information, which we call mRNA, or messenger RNA. Just to get it out of the way, I am not referring to the mRNA technology of some of the COVID vaccines. I am talking about the hundreds and thousands of mRNA strands that are being produced by each and every one of our 30 trillion cells in our bodies. If you think about it, if you can understand what the mRNA is and what purpose it serves, then the COVID vaccine technology will be a piece of cake for you to get. So I'm gonna try and make it as simple as I can. Now we'll take things from the beginning as always. Every human cell has a nucleus, and inside that nucleus lies the cell's genetic material in the form of a double helix, which we call DNA. I'm sure you're all familiar with how the DNA looks. Our DNA essentially tells the cell what to do and how to do it. Without it, the cell cannot survive. Because the DNA is so important, it stays in the nucleus so it can be protected. Now, the information that the DNA contains is very sensitive, so it's not in a form that just anyone would understand. Remember when you were little and you were communicating with your friends and you didn't want anyone else to know what you were talking about? So you invented secret codes and languages, secret hand gestures and stuff, or you wrote down secrets in your diary in drawings instead of letters? It's kind of like that. So the first step in using DNA's information is turning it into something the cell can understand. Think of it like this. You have found the recipe for a delicious chocolate cake, but it's not written in English, it's not in Greek, it's in hieroglyphics, so you need someone to help you understand it. That someone for the cell is called RNA polymerase, and it turns DNA into mRNA through a process we know as transcription. The mRNA is a single strand of genetic information that comes from a specific gene or specific genes of the DNA, and it's in a form that can be understood by the cell. It's the cake recipe, but in English this time. Even though transcription takes place inside the nucleus, the mRNA once formed can't function there, so it is transported to the cytoplasm. The cytoplasm is the area outside the nucleus but still inside the cell. There, it needs to find someone who can read the recipe and make the cake. Kind of a pastry chef per se. That someone is a molecule called a ribosome, which reads the information in the mRNA and turns it into a protein. A protein is always the end result of this process, which we call translation. The protein is the chocolate cake. So you see, the mRNA is simply a piece of decoded information used by the human cells to create a protein, nothing more, nothing less. And on that note, we have reached the end of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed listening. Feel free to send me your feedback or your ideas for my next episodes on Instagram at johneconomo91 or at The Greek Pharmacist. See you all very soon. Till then, stay safe and healthy.